this artificial intelligence, it's not a new concept. It was there right from a century ago. So I would say like this, like just look at a calculator, right? A simple calculator. It's also an AI machine. And AI is a big umbrella. You have machine learning, you have deep learning, then you have generative AI within it. And these AI agents, they basically sit inside these generative AI. So we have seen this progression. And in simply, if I'll say AI are the machine that possess the human intellectual equivalence. So it's a bigger umbrella. It's not a new concept.
Hi, my name is Dimitri Benici, and I'm a content creator, agency owner, and AI enthusiast. You're listening to the AI Agents Podcast, brought to you by Jotform, and featuring our very own CEO and founder, Ida Kintank. This is the show where artificial intelligence meets innovation, productivity, and the tools shaping the future of work. Enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the AI Agents Podcast. In this episode, I have the Director of Product at RChilli, Sneh Lata. How are you doing today, Sneh?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me, Dimitri. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. Really excited to chat with you. So just to kind of kick things off, I'd love to know a little bit about your background and kind of how you got into the world of AI.
I work at the intersection of AI agents and human capital management. I mostly work with the clients and enterprise platforms like Oracle Cloud, HCM, SAP, Salesforce, and HR tech platforms. And my focus is to build AI agents that actually work in production inside these workflows. As far as my journey is concerned, I would like to share I did not start as an AI expert. Even back in my high school, we didn't even have attending conferences and requirements and then translating those needs into systems. I remember back in 2009, the first conference I attended was at Chicago at HR Technology Expos. And I think I had the quest for knowledge, and that kept me going. And that kept me like in technology, how it is moving, where it is going. And then later on, I moved to the United States and worked with enterprises like Gap INC, Bank of the West. And I spent my first decade on as a business analyst leading transformation projects in retail and banking. So to give you more insight of how I started it at Gap in San Francisco, I worked on a very high visibility project. It was a flagship transformation project called Product End to End, ETE, which was to modernize how Gap planned, sourced, and moved their merchandise from vendors to more than their 3,000 online customers. So my role was to translate the business vision into detailed workflows and systems. And they had this old legacy platform called ACT, Assortment Costing Tool, which was running for a very long time. And then Pete was designed to replace it and connect to all other fragmented system, which talks to this legacy system, but still keeping it alive for the downstream application and reporting. So it was like a complex project, and it was rolled out for first for their Gap outlet, then Old Navy, and then Banana Republic, all these Gap brands. So working in retail, and then I moved into the financial services with banking with Bank of the West. There I worked on auto lending products, and we applicated it to RV and Marines. And I designed the extension of their current single auto lending products to multiple offerings that enhanced more business for the bank and for the leadership. It was called the Plus program, PLU as the preferred lender in US. So because Bank of the West was under this BNP group, it was a French entity, and they were trying to build more business, get more market share in US. So today, if you see BMO took over the Bank of the West. So working in the bank, I also worked on cloud-based lending transformation progress, uh, focused on non-prime lending. So if you see, like it's very easy for the prime scorers to get lending products, right? But for the non-prime scorers, get little tough. So we built a fee-based model to accommodate the non-prime segment. So this way, bank can cover its risk and lending products are accessible to the non-prime scorers as well. So it was mainly to build a full spectrum from the bank perspective. And then later on, I worked at Shackley. It's an online wellness company. I joined there as part of the e-commerce modernization program. And my focus was to redesign their digital workflows, integrate several back-end systems, accommodate new promotions, help the teams adopt new agile ways of working. And that work improved site stability and performance of their e-commerce presence. But more importantly, it was basically making possible for marketing, technology, operations all to move in sync when they launched their new customer experiences across regions. And I became the bridge between their business development and because I could keep everyone aligned while still being very technical. So all these roles in United States, they taught me the same lesson. Whether it's a retail brand, link, or an online wellness company, transformation can only work when you connect strategy, data, and execution very tightly. And across all these roles, I see one pattern. The main problem was really the algorithm, but it's the fragmented systems, poor data, unclear ownership of the workflows. And when I came to Archely, I brought this mindset with me. This is exactly what I do at Archely. I sit on the product side, leading AI and cloud innovations that power the different systems for enterprises, business platforms, and job boards. So I take everything I learned in those early years projects and use it to design the AI agents that are not just exciting in demo, but they that actually run in production inside these large complex ecosystems like Oracle, Salesforce, and SAP. So my focus become if we want AI agents to succeed in HR, we must fix data, the workflows, and the integration with these core platforms. So I moved from being a business analyst into becoming a product leader for AI and cloud innovations in HR.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What do you personally I guess my follow-up question would be um you know how long have you actually been in this specific role again?
Oh, so I joined like specifically in Archely, I joined like last year. And then for a decade, like I was working in US. Yeah. Yeah. Currently operating from Canada.
Very cool. What I would say is that it seems like Archely is doing a lot of different interesting things to you know I guess the taglines that I'm seeing, right? You're reinventing things like ERP recruiting, and I just kind of want to understand from your guys' standpoint, how do you go about
Yeah.
taking a process as complicated as some attempting to work reverse engineer the process so that AI can essentially function as that recruitment?
Okay. So Archely is basically it's an AI powered HR tech company, right? Which that structures and enriches the talent profiles. Uh, in very simple words, we turn resumes and profiles into clean, usable data inside HR systems. So if you see the core problem which enterprises face, they have basically three issues. The data is very unstructured, it's often stale, and it can carry bias and inconsistency. And when I took on my current role in Archely, it has around 15 fragmented offerings. My responsibility was to unify them into a modular AI driven suite that's easier to use and easier to scale. So I compiled them in four major modules, and that really helped. Now we have like four main products from Archely. That's Recruitment AI, Data Hygiene, Bias Hiring, and Recruitment Hub. So, if I'll go in a little bit detail of what these products do. So, one is the Recruitment AI. That's our industry leading parser, which parses and matches talent data for your keywords and brings it in front of your dashboard in no time. So just imagine like you have heaps of talent data like in your system, or you have so many resumes. So based on what you're looking for, based on this particular university or based on your search keywords. From that piece of data, recruitment AI agent that will search the right candidate, the right profile for you in no time. That's basically the parser. Then on top of it, like we have data hygiene, which removes any noise, cluttering from the data and leaves you with very clean, structured, normalized data. So how it works? So think you're looking for a Java person, but in resume it's written like JS or React, right? So our tool will not filter those resumes out for you. It will roll up into the right skill families and present it to you. So how it works? We have built 5 taxonomies. We have skills, job titles, degrees, universities, and postcards across many industry and languages. And we use our ontology-driven mapping, which means you do not just match keywords, but map every skill, job title, and technology from a resume or job description into a structured knowledge graph, right? So this lets the ATS platforms search, map, and build their agents on top of this clean and standardized tail end data of the messy text, right?
Interesting.
And then the third one, I say that's the unbiased hiring. So, uh, like in hiring, you have seen unconscious bias that can easily slip into decisions. Sometimes it comes from the way the resume is written or on the details that stand out. So, to avoid any biasness in the hiring, this tool really works. So, what we built a redaction tool in the hiring workflow, and it uses around 55 DEI related parameters, diversity, equity, inclusion, or the list of values you can say, to identify sensitive information. So there will be no biasness in terms of gender or age groups or certain demographics or any personal detail. It masks those data. And then the hiring panel sees a more neutral profile that focuses purely on skills and experience. So we are not replacing human judgment, we are supporting it by removing any noise and bias signals from the data. And how it benefits enterprises, it builds trust in the fairness of the hiring process. It maps those signals before the hiring panel reviews the candidates. And it keeps the focus purely on skills, experience, and capabilities. So basically supporting the diversity goals and reduces any legal and reputational risk and it improves in your hiring efforts. And coming to the last one, that's the recruitment hub. So imagine like you are looking to hire a candidate and then you are getting resumes from different channels, from Indeed, from Career Builder, from LinkedIn, and then someone sending in the emails, or you have your tailor data inside sitting in your system as well. So what this recruitment hub does, we provide a browser extension, and then you will get all these decentralized data into a consolidated location within your system. So from all scattered data through this extension, you will able to have a good view of this complete data, which was fragmented and now it's in a centralized location for you. So it helps you to make a better decision. So that's basically are the products which Archely is offering for these HR tech platforms.
And what do you think is some of the harder types of, I guess, uh, ways, or not ways, what are the harder types of things that you're having to discuss in order for people to potentially be convinced that this is like a feasible thing? Not saying that I don't think it is. I'm just trying to articulate that, there's optimism and skepticism in the market right now with like the capabilities of AI. So how do you go about articulating what you do in a way that makes companies feel comfortable that they should be able to take the human element off their plate and be able to kind of replace it with AI for this process?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I really want when people hear Archely, I want you to think of us as the reliable intelligence layer that powers the AI agents for talent data. You just put the clean data in and better decisions out. And then Archely has proven record for making the candidate experience up by 85%, productivity of by 72%. Your profile accuracy goes up by 68%. So this reduces the deployment time from months to less than an hour, which is 98% reduction in hiring process. So when these numbers speak like that, they shows the trust. Like, and then we have like these big names with us, which means they're trusting Archely, Oracle, Salesforce. And currently we operate in like in 36 industry domains: healthcare, media, HR, CRM, insurance, investment, real estate. We operate in 39 languages in more than 52 countries, have more than 1,800 plus customers, and parse 4 plus billion resumes annually. So these numbers speaks, and then uh, our proven track record that makes things easier. And companies do trust us, and they have seen the results. And this is just about the products which Archely is offering. This is not even the AI agents. I haven't even touched that point yet. So these are the basic products. And then if I talk about the AI agent, so we delivered this talent data refresh AI agent to Oracle. So we shipped it, and it's working in production currently um, within the Oracle workflows.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's touch a little bit more on that specifically. Then talk more to the AI agent component. Then.
Yeah. So I'll just say like this artificial intelligence. It's not a new concept. It was there right from a century ago. So I would say like this, like just look at a calculator, right? A simple calculator. It's also an AI machine. And AI is a big umbrella. You have machine learning, you have deep learning, then you have generative AI within it. And these AI agents, they basically sit inside these generative AI. So we have seen this progression. And in simply, if I'll say AI are the machine that possess the human intellectual equivalence. So it's a bigger umbrella. It's not a new concept. Um, Now, talking about this AI agents, which belong to the generative part of this machine, they can execute the tasks and goals on our behalf across browsers, across applications, and across data lakes. So, in other words, it's a series of a workflow that works, right? So, in simple language, AI agent, if you think it's like a driver. It has been given a car or tools and a destination, and which is defined in the context of the prompt. Now the driver will have to get to it and has the choice to drive it in his best way possible based on the available workflow that's been provided to it. And the talent data refresh AI agent, which actually has shipped to Oracle. We are the proud partner of Oracle Fusion Cloud Application AI Agent Marketplace. Oracle accepts only validated partner-built agents that pass a rigorous 21-point security and functionality checklist, applying the same standard which Oracle uses for its own internally developed agents. And Archely, we are one of the flagship agents uh, in terms of talent data refresh agent. And this what this agent does actually. So this automatically scans existing talent records. That's the first thing. Then it enriches them with fresh, structured, validated data. And then it updates the skills, experience, and other attributes depending on what the need is. And it sets that updated data back into the Oracle SCM in a very compliant way. So just think like it's a next generation AI powered profile enhancement system which is built inside Oracle AI Agent Studio, and it's integrated within Oracle Fusion Cloud SCM. So it autonomously identifies missing or outdated information in candidate profiles and enriches them with verified real time data from external sources and platforms. To make it a more simplify, I would just divide it into steps like so. First, what it does, it has AI driven gap detection, right? What it means, it identifies any missing employment history, education, or skills in resumes or talent profiles. People change their skill; they are keep upgrading like never before. So it keeps on changing. And then second is the parsing integration. So this talent data refresh agent, it leverages Archely's industry leading parsing API to extract structured data and standardize the candidate inputs. Then it connects with the external sources for validation and real-time updates in terms of data enrichment. And then we do the data normalization on top of it. So I see I'm getting maybe too technical, but these are the things which this agent is capable of. Yeah, this ensures this consistency across millions of candidate profiles across these standardized taxonomies I mentioned earlier, like across job titles or JS or JavaScript. So it just roll them up and then uh, remove any clutter or noise. But the last one is the decision intelligence, which means the decision is still in the hands of the recruiter. It's a human centric tool which improves the recruiter decision making through precise, bias free, up to date candidate insights. So you can say recruiters can search on what is true today, not what was true 3 years ago. So it doesn't work on the stale data. This agent can enrich the profiles with the fresh data of the candidate profiles, with better search results, more trust in the data. So this is one example of an AI agent that quietly improves the quality of the talent data in the background.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. By the way, I like that really. I like that beginning part where you mentioned that calculators are AI. I think to be honest, that that hadn't quite came to mind for me. It's not quite what I would imagine, but I can see your point. I think to a certain extent that's true. I think that it's kind of a framing thing. For a long time, AI has been kind of a term that has been now synonymous with like large language models, but that doesn't mean that it's the only thing AI is, I guess.
Yeah. Those were the part of the machine learning. And now, as I said, like we are going into the deep learning images. And like last week, the Gemini rolled out its new tool, Gemini 3.0 Pro with the Nano Banana Pro. So we are just progressing these AI and these agents. They are augmenting us. They are elevating the enterprises. Especially like look at the small and medium businesses. They are becoming like undistinguishable. They are looking like large companies. They are becoming larger and larger with their AI agenting teams. And now I think the question is, what will you do if you have like unlimited number of resources and you are no longer limited by the number of employees? Where would you go if you have like unlimited traditional human resources? Right? This is your moment. What do you want to do? That's the question. With the help of these AI agents.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And where would you say is kind of some of the biggest misconceptions that you kind of have to overcome when explaining what you guys do to whether it be potential clients or in marketing materials? What's like, speaking of it being like even calculators can be AI, what's kind of some of the misconceptions you have to overcome when trying to explain what you're doing and what AI can do in general for potential clients?
So I would say like AI agents and humans, they both have to work together. This is the bus has left the station, like they are already moving, right? AI agents are there in the space right now. So what I would like to start with, like think simple, stay close to what you want to achieve. Like start from the workflow. Who is the user? Which system are they in? What decision are they trying to make at that moment? So just work on the fundamentals. And then second, you fix your data foundations. So in terms of like human capital management, where I work, so work on your job titles, skills, locations, work on your data foundation, your taxonomies, get them consistent. And then your AI agent will work on them so they can automate better results, not like they are automating confusions. And then in Archely, we invest huge in taxonomies and multilingual normalization before anything else. So if your customers live in Oracle, if your customers live in any other platform, your agents, what you are building, they should feel like first class citizen there. So I really would suggest to work on the fundamentals. And then I strongly believe like working on the governance from day one. So that's a very important part. And when I talk about the responsible I think of like 8 pillars of this responsible AI. So the first one which comes is the compliance part. So whenever you're building anything, just make sure it's legally compliant. So in Archely, what we see, we are like FedRAMP ready, which is Federal Risk and Authorization Management Program, and it's a mandatory security certification for any cloud service used by the federal government. And this achievement itself opens Archely pathway to federal contracts, so supporting U.S. government hiring operation. And then we have like 4 major AI regulatory frameworks in place. We have New York City's AI hiring law, CCPA, CPRA, EU AI Act, HIPAA, GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation. So what I'm trying to say is, like, if you're trying to build AI agents or responsible AI, first thing is the legally compliant. That's the first and the foremost thing before you even think of the technical part. So think of the governance part, think of the compliance part, keep that in place, and then second pillar would be the fair and the inclusiveness. Think of that part. And then the third part comes of technically robust and building secure mechanisms. There is where your technology plays a role, where your workflows, how your AI agents are working, what is their outcome, how accurate they are, how strong they are, and then work on transparency part, accountability part, explainable. You should be able to explain how this workflow is working, uh, uh, how it is, what is the, if anything comes in the scrutiny, so you should be able to explain. And then comes the human centric part. So, the decision would always be and still be in the hands of the humans, right? So the human centric part is very important. There should always be left a loop for the human to come in between and make the judgment, which will be driven by empathy. And I strongly believe uh, technology should be led to humanity. That's what the aim is. And the last is the environmentally sustainable. So I strongly, whenever I build products, I work on these 8 pillars of the responsible AI, making energy efficient models, and I think this is the thing which we should not overlook. That's my advice to people who are building AI agents or who are moving in this directions. And if you follow these steps, AI agents will become less like science experiments and more like reliable team members in your HR stack. Because see, these AI agents, they have this accuracy of 92 or 93%. They are good, but they are not better. So the humans are the one who are still controlling them. They are the one who are guiding them. They are the one who are leading them and building them for humanity. That's what I believe.
Interesting. So, I appreciate the comments about the human in the loop, the humanity aspects. What are you guys doing at your own company to make sure that you kind of like stick to your guns on that sort of stance and make sure that there is human in the loop capability for the AI agents and that, the empathy can be expressed
Yes.
there as well by individuals?
So as I said, like the talent data refresh AI agent, which we have shipped to Oracle. So in the end, like we have set all these workflows and mechanism in place. It has this AI driven gap identification. Then it does the parsing on its own. Then it does the data normalization, and then it stores the validated data from trusted external sources, and then it present everything in front in your dashboard in front of the recruiter, and then the recruiter has the power either to accept it or to override it, or whatever he decides to do at that particular moment. So that's the human loop in the place. And I would strongly advise, whenever we build AI agents, we need to keep this loop in place, and this is what we have done. So in and the recruiter has the yay or the no say whether he wants to move ahead. The final pressing button would be in his hand, right? So that's I say, like, the repetitive tasks or the low IQ things, uh, we can get them solved by these AI agents. And then the final decision, empathetic decision, would be given in the hands of the human. In our industry, it's in the hand of the recruiter. If it's in another industry, you have to see AI, right? But in the end, the decisive factor will always be the hands of human.
And I think that's fair. Because I usually have some follow-up questions, but it probably is pretty obvious where you stand on this. I have some questions more regarding like the hot button issues of AI, but you seem to probably be in the stance that there there won't quite be a sort of overtake of AI kind of completely doing the majority of work for people, or do you maybe take the stance that a lot of the work will be done, but maybe there will always be the human component to make sure it's in check? Because everyone has a different opinion on like how jobs will be impacted and whatnot. What's your kind of take on where this will play out in the next 5-10 years?
So see, as I said, like this AI, this is augmenting us. It's not to replace human, but it is basically to keep the repetitive task, the low IQ task. This gonna be done by the AI in a much better way. So in a world where you could automate everything, it's a question that you're going to answer at some point soon, like on a business and on a personal basis. What do you want to automate and what do you want to keep on your own? What one person can do today, it's about 90% more than what one person could do in 1995. It's almost 400% more than what one person could do in 1960. And it's about 1,000,000% more than what one person could do in 1800 on a GDP basis. So on a global domestic production basis, if you see, we are ripping every nation or uh, every country, and coming on another perspective, every enterprise, we are delivering more and more. The production has been increased. We are so impressive in terms of our ability to create value, and thanks in large part to technology. And that's very exciting because it means we are going to create a lot more. And everyone who are listening to this podcast is believing is going to have this opportunity to do more than what your great grandparents could have fathomed. So the
Sure.
direction with where we are moving, it's from they are elevating us, they are augmenting us. We could deliver more, we could do more, and we are moving from single agents even to the ecosystems now. So right now you see very specialized agents, a sourcing agent, matching agent, a redaction agent, a refresh agent, a pre-screening agent. We are coming up with more agents as well. Now, over time, these agents will start talking to each other. We are moving towards agentic enterprises. Agents will prepare data and insight, and human will focus on judgment and empathy. This AI is augmenting us as an enterprise. It's we are just going up and up and up like Willy Wonka and touching the ceiling. The question is what do you want to do when you are no more limited by the traditional number of human resources? Seriously, think about it. Like our human brain, it uses just 20-watt power and it runs 86 billion neurons. It's like 20-watt meat computer. And when I see Oracle, it's building AI data center consuming 1.2 billion watt power, which is enough to power like 1 million American homes. So AI brings like massive computational power, and the human brain remains remarkably efficient. So AI plus humans together, it's a team now. We cannot work without them. It's a team. We have to work together, and then we are more powerful like never before. As I said, like AI agents are good. They are 92 to 93% accurate, but they are not better. I would say AI is the brush, but human potential is the masterpiece. So it will make us better recruiters. In my industry, it will make us much better scientists, much better engineers, much better teachers, much better surgeons because they have better eye-hand coordination movement, and their microscopic view can easily see and distinguish where cancerous cells are ending and where healthy cells are starting, and it can scoop out those parts. So we have never built a tool like anything like this. Seriously, AI is the most powerful tool ever created, but it's still a tool. It's still a tool that enhances human capability. So I think I think we will move from a world where you must learn how a machine works in order to use it to a world where a machine is designed to know how you work. So if you look at these new um, uh, ChatGPT or the Claude, they have been built and they have been designed to know how I work, how you work. Right? This is where we are going. See, and then at Archely, we are building this technology that adapts to how HR professionals work, not the other way around. So we aim to be the intelligence and data layer behind these agents. So if an enterprise uses Oracle, Salesforce, and multiple ATS tools, our goal is to make their tail end data, their AI behavior, they should feel consistent everywhere. So personally, I'm excited about making AI boring, reliable, something people trust and use every day, not something they're afraid of.
What do you think is your favorite kind of personal tool that you use on a daily basis that helps save, the nonsense of your time from being a thing? Like everybody's got something in their job that they used to do prior to AI that now, practically speaking, they don't really do much besides tweak, or they automated it completely. What's your favorite thing that got AIified out of your own workload?
I use AI tools a lot, and then seriously, it augmented me. I am able to deliver a lot more than I what used to be like around a year or two ago. I use ChatGPT. I use their paid version, then I use Claude as well. Their That's very fantastic when I have to work with the large documents. So I use Claude at that time, and then ChatGPT I use a lot. I use Gemini for images. There, this new Banana Pro, that's fantastic. I haven't seen such revolutionized product earlier, seriously. So I use all these tools, and just a tip, like for listeners as well, what I used to do in my daily work, like there is one toggle. It's there in ChatGPT. It's in Claude as well. So in their settings and data controls, you see they by default it's on. Improve the model for everyone, and in the privacy, allow the use of your chats and coding sessions to train and improve Anthropic models. So I personally, when I do my personal work, I use that toggle off. So because, but when I'm doing my office work or my enterprise work, I definitely let them in to that chat and then see what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is they have access to my data, right? If
Yeah.
I'm keeping that toggle on. So I let them do that when I do that my office work. But when I'm doing something, my some very uh, personal work, or my anything which I don't want to let go out, so I use that toggle off. This is one thing I would want to let listeners know, that it's by default open when we are using these AI tools. It's your personal preference and your choice if you want to uh, let that model improve on your um, banking communication or your personal communication. So it's a personal choice, but this is something which is there, and I want you to know that if you want, you have the ability to make it on or off, depending on the way you want to let your information out to those systems.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes sense to me. So, just to kind of get a couple last questions before we do close the episode out of curiosity, when was it that you were kind of working on AI or with AI, that you kind of realized personally through an interaction, wow, I can really do way more work now? I know you mentioned like some examples now, but I'm saying in the timeline of AI history, right? All of us had that moment when we first used AI where we were really blown away. For me, I thought ChatGPT 3.5 was cool. I wasn't like exceptionally blown away with it because it was pretty rudimentary. What was that like moment for you when you were using AI and you said, wow, this is incredible?
Yeah, I very vividly remember it. Like it was when OpenAI came. So earlier we were using, like, as I said, in broader term, we were using AI, like when we were using these calculators or this face recognition on our iPhones.
Sure,
But
yeah, yeah.
when I see this, yeah, when I see this OpenAI came with their chat model, that was kind of like mind-boggling. Yeah. So because Google was doing just the search, right? It's just work on the RAG system. It's just retrieving the documents and then it's just getting the information to you. But when I see this ChatGPT OpenAI. I think it was in way back around 6 years ago, and that was the moment when I say like, wow, this is something which is a game changer. And when then I start using it, and slowly, and now we see like it's overtaking everything. It's everywhere now. It's even I don't know if it has entered schools yet, but apart from that, it's just everywhere. People are using it like anything, and I think we need to be very responsible when saying whole thing that we have to lead them with a lot of judgment, with a lot of responsibility, because they are capable of doing a lot. So the question is, the real question is not what we can do or what we can build, but the real question is what we should be doing with this, and what we should be building with these kind of tools. So this is, I think, a personal responsibility which I would say every enterprise or every user should take into account when they work with these tools, and when they build their agents or the capabilities, to keep in mind, like, it should eventually be lead for humanity, because they can take over all these tasks, and they can do it in a much better way, but we need to steer them, we need to direct them, and this is something which everyone should consider when they work with these kind of forces.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I think there is always a lot of things to consider, and you kind of covered off on a good amount of them. So I really do appreciate that, and I liked a couple of the call outs that you made about new models. I really like Nano Banana as well. I think Gemini 3 was an incredible leap forward in capabilities across all the boards. And then, funny enough, Opus 4.5 comes out a week later. So the like we just continuously are seeing these massive improvements. One final question I did have about your product that kind of is catered towards more of this model type of conversation. With your AI agents themselves, right? Obviously, reasoning comes into agents, that kind of seem to be a correlative expansion of capabilities. Once reasoning got better with models like with O3 and ChatGPT earlier this year, I felt like a lot of different agent capabilities became possible. For you, what really stood out as kind of the moment improvement wise with AI models that where you really started to see some large level reasoning and just overall capabilities improvements in this last year? Was that a model specifically or a time of year specifically where you were like, wow, I feel like we're just getting much better outputs than we were previously?
Oh yeah, definitely. The way they have been designed or was giving output earlier, it's in a much better way that we see today. And these large language models, they are really kind of like improved a lot. But again, like, these models have been designed, and they have been cultured on the public data. We are still not there where they have been worked on the private data. So, like, as I said, like, I keep my toggle off when I work on some one my personal data. But this is what the ask is right now from these LLM models, because so far they have been trained on all public data, but these models, they are looking to work on your private data as well, because that's one they can actually make decisions for when it is really required. So we need to be very mindful what we are exposing to them, what we are not, because they also want to be ahead with what they are doing, and what they are capable of giving to the giving back to us. So so definitely they have improved a lot, but they need to work more now on the private data as well, and we will see that in the near future, when because as the Alexa keeps on hearing, like, every time to us, our phones are hearing us. So in a way, we are surrounded by these gadgets, and they are kind of like seeing us, what we are doing. They are, and then they work on this data, and then they get back with the results for our benefit. right? So this is the next phase of their improvement. So earlier we saw Google, all these, Wikipedia and all these documentation part. Now we are onto these chat models where they are working, or they are, designing the systems the way we want to work, not the other way around. So, and the next level is when they're gonna go a layer deep in, right? So you see my point. So that's the next phase we are looking forward to.
No, absolutely. I think that's a really good call out, and you're seeing it a lot with like knowledge bases and rules and background that you can give agents already with the context of your own data. I work in content, so a lot of the writing stuff continues to be improved the more information you give it. I have like a persona of how I sound when I write. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty close to like my story and my vibe and all that kind of stuff. And I think a lot more data personally given to the LLMs is going to do wonders for the outputs. Granted that I hope it's willing. People obviously are sensitive about their data still at this point, but I do to some extent. I kind of have an opinion that I think the cat's been out of the bag for a while. There's a reason Gemini is continuing to improve and improve and improve at such a fast rate when they weren't maybe the most popular out of the apps or out of the LLMs. And I do think a decent percentage of that is they are Google. So they do kind of have a lot of info on everybody. And OpenAI is getting their support from Microsoft. And it's all very interesting. But, with that being said, I really just want to let you take the floor for the last minute here and just plug whatever you would like to plug so that everyone can find what you guys are doing over there at Archely.
Yeah, I would just say last thing, like whatever you guys are building, just stay close to your end users, stay close to your customers, talk to them, see what their pain points are, and then build accordingly. Because that's where the big ideas arises, when you talk to them and listen to them and you want to help them. Because if you augment them, make things which are good for them, make their work easier, that's where the growth lies, and that's where when everybody grows. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, make sure to go check out everything that Sneh is doing over there at RChilli. That's rchilli.com. That's RChilli.com. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening / watching to this episode. And if you did like it, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're listening to it on Apple or Spotify podcasts, make sure to leave us a review. We'd really appreciate it. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening / watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.